Hello, children. So, today in this module, we are going to read the poem Animals by Walt Whitman. About the poet. Walt Whitman was born on May 31, 1819, in West Hills on Long Island, New York. At the age of 12, Whitman began to learn the printer's trade and fell in love with the written words. Largely self taught, he read voraciously, becoming acquainted with the works of Homer, Dante, Shakespeare, and the Bible. Along with Emily Dickinson, he is one of the most celebrated poets of America. Whitman's work breaks the boundaries of poetic form and is generally prose-like, and that is why he is often called father of free verse. In 1855, Whitman published his first collection of poems, Leaves of Grass, which received appreciation even from Ralph Waldo Emerson, the famous American poet. About the poem. The poet is turning from mankind and feels that he could possibly live with animals, birds, and nature. In this poem, the poet Whitman compares man to animals. He finds that man lacks many virtues that animals have. The poet says that he feels more at home with animals than human beings, since they are selfish, false, and always dissatisfied, while the animals are unselfish, true, and more satisfied. They show their love for us. Explanation of the poem. Stanza 1. I think I could turn and live with animals. They're so placid and self contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Paraphrase. The poet wants to change places. He wants to be converted to an animal from a human being. He wants to leave the company of men and start living with animals. Animals are so calm and self satisfied. He's so much impressed with animals that he stands and goes on looking at them for a long time. Stanza 2. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Paraphrase. Animals never sweat unnecessarily, nor do they cry over their miserable condition. They enjoy full sleep at night. Unlike men, they don't have sleepless nights. Their conscience is clear. They don't weep over their sins. Keeping awake the whole night, they don't make anyone sick by discussing their duty to God. Stanza 3. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things, not one kneels to another nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. All animals are satisfied with their lot. No one is dissatisfied. No animal has a mania of collecting things. Animals don't get mad in the race of owning things like humans. They don't kneel down to show respect to others or to those who were born thousands of years ago. No animal considers himself more respectable than others. Nor can you find any animal on this whole earth who is unhappy over his lot. Stanza 4. So they show their relationships to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they got those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Paraphrase. Animals keep on showing and cementing their relations to the poet. The poet accepts those relations with them happily. They provide all token of noble virtues that are present in the poet. They show that they possess all these virtues in plenty. The poet wonders from where animals got those noble virtues and tokens of love. The path of noble virtues which animals are still following even now. Humans and the poet himself have left negligently long, long ago. Analysis of the poem. God shaped man and animals for dwelling on earth. He, God gave man to a high position than to that of animals. Walt Whitman, the great American poet, believes animals are better than men. The poet appreciated some qualities in animals which man doesn't have. He expressed his observation about animals and man through his poem Animals. Walt Whitman is very fond of the company of animals. The poet desires to live among the animals because, according to him, animals are calm and self sufficient. They do not whine and weep about their conditions. They're always satisfied and do their duty towards God. Animals always express their love and respect for human beings. Animals spend a life of satisfaction and peace. They do not possess an obsession with possessing things. They do not show respect for others. Also, they even do not respect their thousand old descendant. Sorrow and happiness are equal to them. Whereas humans are crazy about material things, humans lie awake at night. They cry for the wrong that they have done. At last, they lose their temper over trifles. Animals are quite happy. They don't idle away their time for discussing their duties to God like human beings. He observes that humans don't have those qualities which animals possess, such as sign of love, quietness, kindness, selflessness, honesty, patience, and sympathy. These qualities are absolutely essential for a glossy life. The poet has a deep aspiration to learn from the animals since they express their deep concern with them. They do not possess any kind of falsehood. The poet is much amazed at their quality. He desires to earn them, though he had left them carelessly. He feels that the life of a man is full of stress, depression, anxiety, and happiness. So, he desires to turn away from the living with other humans. He wants to live in the company of animals for good because he thinks that he will get a real happiness among animals. After all, he desires to make a relationship with animals. Thus, this was the summary of the poem Animals, written by Walt Whitman. Theme of the poem. This poem reflects Whitman's animism. It is the spirit of animals that are meant to reflect the truth in humanity. He respects animals because they have retained those values and tokens which humans seem to have already lost. The poet Walt Whitman tells frankly that he feels more comfortable and at home with animals rather than his fellow humans. He has lost so much faith in the race of mankind that he wants to turn and change his position with animals. Human beings have become mad running after material possessions. Their bundle of complications, contradictions, and confusions. Their conscience is not clear, and so they suffer from nightmares and weep for their sins. Animals, on the other hand, are calm, self contained, and contented. They don't run after material things other than their food. They don't need to worship God as they never suffer from any sense of guilt or sin. Ancestors of human beings shared those tokens of love and understanding in the remote past. Unfortunately, humans have lost those virtues and token of love and understanding completely forever. Sample answers. To help you out with the poem, I have given you some sample answers here so that in case some doubt remains there in your mind about the poem, when you go through the questions, those doubts are answered. So I request you all to read the questions carefully, check the answers which are given there under the questions, note it down somewhere if you feel like, and drop me your doubts if still there is any left. Thank you so much, children. I hope this video helps you and it simplifies this chapter better for you. Thank you. Take care. Stay safe.